Hey there, friends! Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter, Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. Today we want to share a preview of In Dreams, which is a solo RPG that was kindly provided for us by Side Room Games, and it was created by Jamie Toole and Mike Berg. This is a prototype, so things might be a little bit different, but it already looks really nice.
It's gorgeous.
It is. And this is usually where I would give the caveat about if we get any rules wrong, well, this isn't a teaching video. But the thing is, there's only like 3 rules. It isn't that kind of game. But also, if we get anything wrong, this isn't a teaching video. So you might want to just check and make sure that we're doing it right. In this video, we just want to show you a little bit about how it plays and whether or not a solo RPG might be something that you want to try. In this solo RPG, you're exploring dreams in this slightly surreal storytelling game.
Slightly?
It's very surreal.
That's a good thing, though.
It is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
You're going to do this by creating a character, setting encounters, and experiencing events. And you're going to do all of this by interpreting this gorgeous art and the text that you can find on them. It is beautiful. Let's start by talking about the box itself, which again might change. But right now you have this beautiful cover. And then when you turn it over, there's a little code so that you can learn to play in 3 minutes. And it will probably take you less than that to get through this, because most of the information that you need can be found right on this box. And it opens up like this, and then your cards are in here.
It's so fancy.
It is so fancy. But we're going to start with the character generator. So we're going to separate the cards into event cards and encounter cards. We're going to put the event cards aside just for a little bit, and we're going to shuffle up the encounter cards.
Well, you know, the closest you can get to shuffling.
I'm a very good shuffler now.
Okay.
Let's start by creating the character. In order to do that, you're going to kind of fill in this little sentence, Mad Libs style. And it says, I am blank and am blank. And before this dream ends, I must
blank, blank.
Blank, blank. So we're going to do this by creating pairs of cards from this deck. So in this pair, we have a 2 and a 3. So we're going to look this up, and it says from far away. So I am from far away and am heartbroken.
Oh, no.
That's sad. And before this dream ends, I must seek, fingers crossed, a mystery.
Ooh.
So you're probably going to want a pen and paper for this. And when I play solo, I use it as a journaling prompt. And we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get through how it works.
Yeah.
Here's what we know about our character. I am from far away and I am heartbroken. And before this dream ends, I must seek a mystery.
Ooh.
That is the description of our character as we move into the encounters. So we're going to take all these cards, put them back in the deck. These stories can last as long or as little as you want, because you're in charge of creating the finish line. You're in charge of interpreting these cards. So if you're going to interpret the end, well, I guess you can. Or if you want this to keep going, you can do that too. But for each encounter, you're going to look at this card on the top. You're going to see the number, and that's the number of cards that you're going to flip for this encounter. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 cards for this encounter, and a location. That is a beautiful location.
It is.
Now that we have our encounter set up, it is time to begin wandering through our dream. And you're going to do that by looking at where the arrow is pointing. So in this one, for walls, the arrow is pointing at walls to defend. at the beginning of our story. So now we have to remember our character. And our character is from far away and heartbroken and seeking a mystery. So we're going to start with walls to defend. Okay. I'm going to let Billy take over some of the storytelling because she's better at it. And I will explain a little bit about my way of telling the story once we're done. So we're going to start with walls to defend, with guidance from a map, with a narrow gate. So now that you know who our character is, what do we want to do with this story?
Well, we're from far away and we're heartbroken. And we're getting guidance from a map. So we're searching for treasure far from home, and we thought it would be easy to find, but when we get there, there's these big walls defending the treasure, making it hard to reach. And these walls rise up right out of the ocean. Because look, there's water at the bottom of the card there. Or I'm interpreting it as water.
You can interpret it as anything you want.
Lasers. No, water. Water. So there's big labyrinth-like walls rising up. And there's a narrow gate that you have to sail your ship through without hitting the sides. I think that's the destination.
Like in the center of the labyrinth.
Yeah, that's the center of the labyrinth. That's where we're trying to get to, and it's going to be like a nice place.
Okay.
But getting there might be tricky.
Okay. So, once you've gone through this bit of encounter, and you can write it down on a pad if you want, you can just do it in your head if you want, whichever is going to work for you, you're going to check the cards to see if any of your cards have matching symbols. And if they do, like these two have matching circles, then we're going to move to an event. And the event deck is just right here, and all you do is flip the top card over. So for our event, we look where the arrow is pointing, and we read, "You are offered something very valuable to your quest at no cost. What's the catch?" And our mood is a conflict.
Well, at this point, I'm just thinking of the movie Labyrinth. So I'm thinking, like, as you go through, there's going to be encounters with strange people and creatures. Someone's offering us a shortcut. And it seems like, you know, they don't want anything. But what's the catch? And what makes it conflicting? Maybe you're worried that it doesn't count as solving the mystery if you cheat. If you take a shortcut, it's not right. You're getting the prize, but without, you know, accomplishing the goal.
You are a better explorer of dreams than I am. I would have taken the clue.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not going to take it. I'm just saying it would be wrong.
Okay. All right, so after this, we clearly have not accomplished our goal.
Right, yeah. But we're a step closer.
Well, I mean, we're seeking a mystery, but I think in the spirit of this, we're seeking kind of the solution to a mystery as opposed to just looking for a mystery. Although you can do, again, whatever you want. This is your dream.
Maybe you're the Scooby Gang and you're looking for another mystery in town.
So once you're done with this encounter, you're done with these cards. So then you would set the next one, and this one calls for 4 cards. So you would turn over 1, 2.
Ooh, that's pretty.
3, 4, and then a location. So you would start with this encounter, noticing that there are 2 circles that match. So that means that you would get to do another event from the event deck. The event that you've previously done gets slid underneath until you cycle through them all, if you get that far. So in this encounter, we have Peaceful Solitude, a Voyage of Discovery.
Oh, that works.
Progress with Our Curiosity, and a Mask for Illusion. And our location is...
It looks like a big volcanic cliff.
Yeah.
Coming out of the ocean, which is very
like
fitting.
Steam coming up off the ocean. And these cards are beautiful.
And there's plenty of different ways you could interpret that, but I'm sticking with mine.
So we were offered the clue. Did you take it?
No, and I think that's what gives me the peaceful solitude. I sail off away from the person who offered it to me. And I'm alone, but at least I'm at peace knowing I did the right thing.
On a voyage of discovery, this looks a bit tumultuous.
It's too easy to just say, well, yeah, the whole thing is a voyage of discovery, right?
I don't know. I don't RPG as much as you, so I don't know if it's too easy or if that's what we're supposed to do.
Progress through curiosity related to a mask. An illusion was covering was masking the real entrance to the center of the labyrinth. And through our curiosity, we managed to figure that out. We saw the waves aren't crashing against those rocks, they're going through them. So we were able to sail through in a voyage of discovery and find the center of the labyrinth.
Which is somehow hidden in this.
Well, yeah, that's the mask. That was the illusion.
Oh, okay.
It's a big, scary volcanic cliff.
So then we get to go to that very peaceful
But you
card
just go
from,
right
the,
through
from
it,
the last
and you
one.
get that nice. You get this card.
That one's much nicer than this one.
And then we did it. We found the center of the labyrinth, and we get to just chill in that nice little garden.
We do. And we do not have to move to the event if we have finished the journey. We
Yes.
could if we want to, but we don't have to. This is all about exploring these cards and crafting your own story and your own interpretation, which is why I had Billy tell some of the stories. Let's talk a little bit about who this is for. And obviously, it's going to be for RPG lovers like Billy,
Hi.
who have experience creating these kinds of settings and stories from bits and pieces and clues from other things. But is it for people who
Yes.
haven't played RPGs or who aren't as comfortable? And the answer is yes, but I'm going to say that it's different. The reason that I didn't tell the story is because when we usually play solo games on this channel, we do what's called solo-ish, where I play and Billy heckles. That absolutely does not work for this, especially when someone is not quite as comfortable telling a story. I'm not as comfortable with RPGs, so for me, this worked exceptionally well as writing prompts, where I could take this story and write it down and explore it on my own without the anxiety of, did I do it right? Because there is no right or wrong.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to use this.
But sometimes it will feel like that. And sometimes for people who have anxiety about playing RPGs, that's part of it. That you don't want to say the wrong thing or make the wrong move.
Kind of like stage fright.
Yes, it really is. But in a game like this, where
In a solo game.
Yeah, in a solo game where you're not actually playing co-op with someone else, you get to do all of the things that an RPG provides, but without any of the anxiety. So it was really a really calming experience to go through and flip through the cards and the encounters and the events. It's also for writers because, again, these all act as writing prompts.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe you don't want to play it in exactly the same way, but the way these cards are created, the way you have the prompts on them, the way you have the event deck, if you have writer's block, this is going to help.
Yeah, just take your own character instead of creating one here and run them through the events. See what happens.
And let's talk about character creation.
Yes.
One of the overwhelming things of a regular RPG can sometimes be creating a character.
Yeah.
And everybody feels pressure to come up with a backstory, and especially if you're playing D&D, it can be an entire session just rolling for the attributes and deciding what you're carrying with you to start and those kinds of things. This was a simple formula where we put two cards together and matched it on the list, and we had a character in 2 minutes.
Time at all. Yeah,
it was simple and it was fun, and it changes every single time. This game is live right now on GameFound, so if this is something that you think you would enjoy, either as a solo RPG or a journaling prompt, or even doing it co-op with someone helping you with the story, then go check it out over there. I'll put all the information down below. The deck is beautiful. For the artwork alone,
Every card I've seen is gorgeous.
And you can interpret it in a fantasy setting, or you can do it more realistically. You can look at these cards and say, okay, well, this is a forest, and you can move from there. So you can change the setting.
Or even just use it as like a metaphor.
Absolutely. So you can use these cards however you want to interpret them. Thank you again to Sideroom Games for providing this copy, and if you like what you see, go ahead and check it out. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
or if you'd like to keep watching until we get one right,
then please like, subscribe, and share. As always, open tables, open minds, and play yourselves.
Bye!